but also empower each person to feel that they matter. It's like how God invites humans to join his work, not because he needs help, but because people need to find their value in collaboration. When every member feels their voice carries weight, they will work with the mindset of an owner, not just an employee. Finally, don't forget to celebrate victory eyes. No matter how small after the crisis, when Simon and his team landed just a small contract, he stood up in the meeting and applauded first. The entire room stood with him. It wasn't just a celebration, it was a reminder. We are moving forward in that moment. Everyone felt they belonged to something bigger than themselves. They weren't just working for a paycheck, but for pride and honor. A culture of trust and collaboration doesn't happen by chance. It's built from transparency, listening, and small but sincere moments of celebration. Just as God created man from dust, but breathed life into him, we too have the responsibility to breathe trust and hope into our teams. If you are leading a team or simply want to be a reliable companion in any group, share your thoughts in the comments. Below, have you ever experienced a moment where silence, transparency, or a small celebration changed everything? I want to hear your focus on what you can control. Story number 4. Focus on what you can control. There's a truth we all eventually have to accept. The world is full of change, and uncertainty is always present. You can't control the rain outside the window, the judgmental looks from others, or the fluctuations of the market. But you can control how you respond. The difference between a calm mind and a panicked one lies in knowing where to focus on what you can control in an important meeting. People often get caught up in the boss's gaze, the critical eyes of colleagues, or harsh comments from partners. But imagine someone sitting upright, hands resting lightly on the table, eyes calm, neither avoiding nor confronting. They don't over-explain, don't seek validation. They focus on one thing. Only solving the problem in the best way they could can control. That silence isn't weakness, it's a quiet but powerful declaration of self-respect. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this. And you will find strength when you stop and truly absorb this. You'll see that most of your anxiety comes from trying to hold on to things beyond your control. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do right now to take one small step forward?" That simple question pulls you out of the spiral of anxiety and grounds you. A classic example is Angela Merkel, former Chancellor of Germany during economic crisis, or the migration crisis. She never let emotion take over in front of the press. She sat upright, spoke calmly, and kept repeating the few things she and her government could do. Public criticism was loud and harsh, but she never got pulled into it. She spent her energy preparing backup plans, constantly working with her team to adjust strategies. She knew complaining or worrying about others' reactions solved nothing. She focused on what she could control. That calmness earned her respect and credibility. Likewise, you need to learn to adjust your perspective. Practicing gratitude helps you realize you already have valuable things, health opportunities, and supporters around you. Once you see that your mind stops wasting energy on meaningless distractions, from there you can proactively adapt, anticipate challenges, and prepare backup plans. Not out of fear, but to move forward with confidence. Before we move on to the next tip, can I ask you for a small favor? If you're enjoying what you've learned, and maybe even smiling right now, hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe as well. Why? Because when you like and subscribe, you're telling YouTube this content is worth sharing, and that helps spread these positive messages to more people who might need a little lift just like you. So let's spread that positivity and make sure more people can join us on this journey of self-improvement and growth. Now, let's move on to the next key point: how to keep learning and adapting, a crucial factor in staying calm and focused in any continuously learn and adapt. Situation number 5. Continuously learn and adapt: emotional control and the ability to maintain. Focus are not just about staying calm in the face of challenges, they are reflected in a continuous attitude of learning and adaptation. In Stoic philosophy, the ability to proactively change yourself before circumstances force you to is the deepest expression of self-discipline and dignity. The world is constantly changing. What was right yesterday may be outdated today. The only thing we can hold on to is the willingness to learn and adapt. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances. Action, what stands in the way, becomes the way. The obstacle in front of you is the path you need to take when facing challenges. You can complain, or you can quietly observe, learn, adjust, and move forward. Obst ical are not walls. They are maps sent by God to guide you. What blocks your way does not appear to defeat you, but to train your ability to learn and change." Reed Hastings, founder and CEO of Netflix, is a prime example of continuous learning and adaptation. Netflix started as a DVD rental company by mail, a seemingly stable and profitable model. But Hastings did not let comfort blind him. When he saw the rise of high-speed internet and the shift in consumer entertainment habits, he didn't cling to the old model. Instead, he boldly transformed Netflix into a streaming service, a move many considered reckless. At the time, he didn't stop there. Hastings asked himself, if we are just a distribution platform, can we remain competitive? He listened to user behavior data, studied market preferences, and decided to invest in original content production. The success of shows like House of Cards not only proved the strategy right, but also demonstrated the willingness to step out of comfort zones, experiment, and learn continuously. Reed Hastings understood that only proactive, intelligent adaptation sustains focus and lasting relevance. This story poses a question. Are you still living by an outdated model just because it once worked, or are you brave enough to face the truth, identify what's obsolete, and change? Sometimes clinging to what's familiar isn't focus. It's stubborn stagnation, true. Focus is the clarity to adapt continuously without losing your core values. Stoic philosophy teaches that the only thing we truly control is our mind and reactions. But God gives us more, the daily opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Through difficulties, when you encounter a barrier, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What does God want me to learn from this challenge?" That question will completely change how you see problems. Learning and adapting are not signs of weakness or aimlessness. They are acts of courage to stand still when needed, move when required, and accept risks to become a better version of yourself. The more willing you are to update, observe, and experiment, the more you master your emotions and maintain focus in unpredictable circumstances. In that quiet confidence, you don't need to say much. Your actions and attitudes speak loud enough. Number 6, lead with empathy and compassion. Compass passion leadership is not just about setting a direction and telling people to follow. Sometimes leadership means stopping to look directly into the eyes of those walking alongside you and realizing that they too can feel tired, confused, and need a reassuring hand rather than an order. That's when empathy and compassion become the quiet but enduring strength of a true leader. Have you ever noticed when you step into a meeting room how the atmosphere can be so tense that you can almost feel it? Employees avoid your gaze. Long-time colleagues tap their fingers nervously on the table. What are they afraid of? Not of you, but of disappointment, of not being good enough. In moments like that, a slight nod, a warm look, or a simple question like "What's been worrying?" you can break down the invisible wall. Remember the story of Howard Schultz, the founder who turned Starbucks into a global brand in 2008, when the global financial crisis caused Starbucks to spiral downward. Thousands of stores closed, employee morale dropped, and shareholders applied immense pressure. Schultz returned as CEO after some time away and faced a team full of anxiety, disappointment, and fear. In his first days back, he didn't call an emergency meeting to reprimand or assign blame. Instead, he visited stores, spoke directly with employees, asked them what they feared most, what they wished could improve, and listened without interrupting. In those conversations, many employees cried because for the first time they felt their worries were not dismissed. Schultz understood that empathy did not weaken his decisions. It made tough decisions easier to accept because people knew they came from a place of listening and standing. When he decided to close hundreds of stores and cut many positions, those who left did not hold resentment. They thanked him for speaking to them as people, not just numbers. And the rest of the Starbucks team felt they were following a leader who cared not just about profit, but about people from that empathy. Starbucks was reborn stronger and more human. Empathy is not weakness. It is the height of emotional intelligence. The art of staying calm when others lose their composure. When you listen not to respond but to understand, you give the other person a sense of safety. When they feel safe, they stop resisting without resistance. Conflicts fade quietly, but listening alone is not enough. A compassionate leader is someone who extends a hand before others collapse. Imagine someone on your team becoming unusually quiet, falling behind on work. Instead of just asking, is something